Hi there, it's Tim with Far North Magic. Today I'm going to be looking at the Collecting Aetherdrift, a first look article that came out on December 10th on the Magic website. So Aetherdrift comes out in February, the middle of February, so it's a bit away still. I'm actually kind of surprised there hasn't been like some major spoiler leak thing, even though like I guess they got Innistrad remastered in between, but for a lot of people, they can just skip that set or just do a draft or two. So I guess we'll see. It's kind of like a really nice lull of like being able to catch up on other products that you missed or revisit products that you like Bloomborough or just some other stuff that happened. The Black Friday sales and stuff weren't that great overall, so it will be interesting to see if stores have stuff to clear out in December at the end of the year. But we are going to get, I guess we're going to get spoilers and story stuff coming out in the middle of January. So it's kind of a bit of a 3 week lead up to the pre-release and then the release. So we're going back down to only a few subsets. So special guests as usual. I've actually been liking the special guests, even if I seem disappointed sometimes with the ones that I get. It's more along the lines of what I would like them to have done with the list a long time before then. So less items, with more of them being like, even though like some of them are pretty bad. Um, like even the ones that were commons in other printings, them still holding a couple dollar value versus just a bunch of junk. We got the commander decks, and then we got the main sets. The interesting thing that I found was there isn't four decks. So we got MSRP starting us off um, with these MSRP prices that are kind of expensive. So play booster at 550, collector booster 25, commander deck 45, bundle 54, and the special bundle as 80. Um, so then we got the dates of the story being released, some more previews, the release dates, and the extra events like this championship and commander party and such. So fill up that event calendar. Um, Not sure this is going to push any pre-orders without seeing a lot more um, spoilers and stuff, because there are some people that just don't want to do uh, that don't feel this set's going to be something that they like. And I find that the most interesting thing with it is it's the people that are like, I don't want Spider-Man and My Little Pony and everything invading my card game, and then anytime they come out with uh, something like aetherdrift or even outlaws or murders or any of those sets, not that those sets were awesome or anything, I'm not saying that they're the best sets ever, but they're like super down on those sets too. So then I'm like, I don't know what set you actually are happy with. So um, it'll be interesting to see what they do with this set, just to see if it makes any sense story wise, because for the most part, the story hasn't been doing that great, and I've kind of fallen off completely from the story. I used to follow the story quite a bit. We got our normal play booster. Um, so the product line is pretty standard. So you get your 6 to 9 commons, 3 to 5 uncommons, 1 to 4 rares, one foil, and a non-foil token. Collector boosters being standard 10 to 12 foils, 5 rare or higher, 3 to 5 uncommon, 4 to 6 common, and a land. And the headliner card as a 1% hit. So I kind of like the headliner card idea, but I also kind of don't think it's going to do. It's got to be a super push card, I think, at that point. If it's only going to be a single card. And then are they going to be tempted? Like, are they going to ban it if it's too good? I wouldn't think they could, but I guess we'll just see how that fares. We get just 2 commander decks, which is interesting. They used to do 2 commander decks a lot more often, and then people would complain that there's 4 decks every set. But then 4 decks every set's too stupid. Part of what I would like them to do is bridge the 2 sets. So like this is the first set of the year, and then the second set of the year. Have those each have 2 commander decks, but they get sold as a pod. They kind of get played off against each other, and then you can kind of even get to see what is in the second set. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being silly, but that way you get to keep the 4 decks per pod, 4 decks per group happy, and then you get also to like cut down on decks. So like you'd only be doing 2 decks per set, maybe. For the sets that you're looking at doing 2 decks per set, but then you also still have at least the people that are like, I want to buy a set of 4 decks, and then my pod can each play 1 deck unaltered and go from there type thing. So it is a green, blue, red energy deck, and then a white, black, and blue Eternal Might. So that's, I don't know, maybe recursion and something like that. So the commander decks are standard. You get your 10 new cards. Maybe not 10 new cards. Get your 100 card deck. Hopefully it's not messed up. 1 face card in borderless art. 1 secondary commander, I guess, in borderless art. And the sample pack as usual. Then we get the bundle. It's kind of a cool looking dice. Guess we'll see. 9 boosters. It's interesting that it's 9 boosters still, just because they tweak the play boosters down to 30. So now it's like basically a third of a box instead of a quarter of a box. So I wonder if more people will buy bundles just because they want a taste of a set, but then not the full cost of a box. Like, it's the box prices have been getting a bit crazy. At least in Canada, they're really crazy for the most part versus what you guys in the States get. So you get your 40 basics, your 2 reference cards, a spin down storage box, and a promo. The special bundle, I kind of like this dice just from the look of it. It's kind of cool. Not sure how deep I'll go on these special bundles because I'm kind of like reeling from the Nightmare bundle not doing as well as I would have expected. It seems like there's a lot more of them floating around, and maybe it just means that don't FOMO too hard. But in the Finish Line bundle, you get 6 play boosters, 2 collector, 20 basics, 3 promos, a box topper, 5 stickers, oversized spin down, and a storage box. So they're branching into stickers. I almost wouldn't be surprised if they just put pins and stuff too. Like pins seem to be a big thing. Like I don't know. Do you collect pins? Like I collected pins when I was like 7 or 8 years old. Like I'm not collecting pins anymore. I guess I'm a freaking old geezer. Like, I'm not collecting pins anymore. Like, but again, like I remember when like working in retail stores, like all you had to do was give a person a sticker even, and that was like enough to push them to buy extra junk. So it just depends, I guess, on what it is. And then the pre-release kit, so standard 6 packs, promo, helper card, deck box, and spin down. So I guess the other thing is looking at pricing. So looking at the early pricing on Amazon, it is MSRP. So you get your bundle, finish line bundle at $80, your box at 165, collectors at 300, collector pack 25, bundle 54. So 45 for the commander decks and 180 for a box of 4. So 2 each. I think that these prices are going to definitely be less at stores, and I understand Amazon's a good placeholder ordering system. From what I understand, you can order them, and they have pretty generous cancellation policy, and they don't tie your money up until shipment. So that's also very helpful on something like the finish line bundle. Like maybe you want to hedge your bets. In a lot of stores in Canada, they're not going to have a whole lot of these finish line bundles probably available, and they'll probably get flushed out pretty fast. So the one thing that I look at is the prices are definitely going to be less in a lot of stores and marketplaces. So I looked at Cool Stuff Inc. because they are one of the stores that puts up early pre-orders. So you got your bundle at 45, uh, collector at 220. That seems a lot more reasonable than 300 that they're trying to say MSRP is. I don't know if Cool Stuff runs on very thin margins, or if Wizards MSRP is actually giving the stores like very like decent margins, and then the stores will just like revert back to like knowing, okay, I need to sell um, that $300 margin. The margin at $300 is, I don't know, just say 40%. Um, but I need to sell at 15%, and at least then I get the volume sold through enough to make what I need to make, instead of trying to make that bigger number and selling very, very low number of units. Um, so the 2 deck commander set's 75, and the play booster at 120. So that would indicate um, like a $4 pricing per pack, and like the pricing being reflected in that um, the shrinkflation in the play boosters isn't um, going to be just they take the 6 packs out and um, they keep the price the same. I even have a Canadian example, and like this is 401 Games. They're one of the biggest stores in Canada, and their pricing hasn't changed on like collector boosters are $339. 95 Canadian. So if you're looking at this as an American, you have to like take like the dollar is so bad right now. It's like one American dollar is like worth 1.4 Canadian. So you have to take like 30 plus percent off, like 35% off, 40% off. So um, well, I know it doesn't exactly work at 40% off, but again, here you have the example of the play booster being 180 instead of in the other sets. It's been um, 210 to 20. So there is a reflection of the 6 pack decrease at least, which is at least uh, good out of the gate. Like it's not a guarantee that they won't just keep the prices, like jack up the prices slowly but surely. And again, I guess like for me in Canada, I gotta worry about the dollar declining to dirt, um, which is unfortunate. Uh, okay, so I guess I wanted to look at what the commander decks were. So you got like green, blue, and red energy deck, and it's I guess themes are stockpile energy, charge up artifact creatures. So I don't know if there's a play that you can spec on that you can get destroyed on with energy. There was like the Jeskai energy deck that got people to buy into what Aetherworks Marvel and Gonti's Aetherheart and a couple other energy plays, and then they got printed in the deck and now are worth nothing. So I don't know if there's other cards that are big cards in energy theme decks that would be good specs, because nothing really comes to mind that I would be comfortable with and not getting destroyed. So I guess we'll just have to see how that goes. And then we got the Eternal Might with burn through cards and grow your mummy army. So that is a different theme. That kind of feels like a Amonkhet theme. So maybe there's some cards. I guess on the plane of Amonkhet. So I don't know if there'd be some cards from Amonkhet that would actually um, be cards that people would um, think would be specs. I don't know. I don't think so. Not much from that set's hugely valuable, unfortunately. We got the Finish Line bundle. So what's in the Finish Line bundle? It is very similar to the Nightmare bundle, actually. So you get 2 collectors, 6 play boosters, 3 extended art cards, with alternative art exclusive to the Finish Line bundle. So you're getting 3 extended art cards instead of 2 for the Nightmare bundle. And then there's 2 foil box toppers. So definitely going to be interesting to see what the toppers are. 20 foil lands and the bundle, the box, the dice, the stickers. I guess the other question is what is there oh, is there oh, is there a box topper in the play? Oh, you get box toppers in the main boxes even. Okay. So definitely going to be interesting to see what the box toppers are in this set. So that could be good or could just be a bunch of junk. Like They have a track record of doing a bunch of uncommon box toppers. And if they're doing two per box, I imagine some of them are going to be junk. But definitely interesting. So, yes, the way I'm going to look at it is I'm going to buy some collectors. Personally, I'm going to buy some collectors out of the gate because I don't know. In Canada, it's just really hard. Like the collector boxes don't really move up much, but they don't really go down either that much. So generally, they go up a little bit. But so I'm gonna get some collectors. I'm gonna open at least one for the channel. I plan to hope to get some pre-release kits to keep that going. I'll probably try and get that special bundle, and I'll get some commander decks as usual. But with it being only two commander decks, I don't know how deep I'll go on those because usually if it's four decks, you can kind of go pretty deep and not get screwed over too badly. Like the last ones that I got kind of hemmed up on were like Fallout, which doesn't make any sense. But the way the store's priced the Fallout singles was kind of really weird, and then also like March of the Machine. So like that's like a couple years ago now. So the last numbers of Commander deck runs like Murders, Outlaws, Bloom, Ixalan, even Ixalan, Dustmorn, they've all been pretty solid. So definitely going to be interesting to see with them going back down to two decks. Can they make the decks really good and go from there? So I guess my question is what is your approach to Ether Drift? Are you excited? Are you disappointed? Are you um, scared of shrinkflation? Are you just sticking to singles until we see more of the set, which would make sense? And go from there. Thanks again for checking out the video. I know it's kind of long and rambly, but I'm gonna try and do more of these videos, and I'll hopefully get less and ah and lose my thoughts and terribleness. So, and we'll just go from there. So, thanks again for watching. If you made it this far, I appreciate you, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Take care, and I hope to see you next time. See you then.